after he gets home.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably in the toiletry bag with his all-in-one shampoo and his
Aftershave.
shave.
Meghan totally missed the memo, the message, which is that, yes, having a title is somewhat impressive in Hollywood. Not a lot of people have that, but very, 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 very few, even actors, have the level of following and the level of influence that the Kardashians, they have seen the great results of that. And Meghan Markle just can't do any of that. And she's also not authentic. And the Kardashians, like them or hate them, I think they do have a pretty good authenticity chip there. And I think she proves that via this Instagram post.
I know. And then
She's not been able to secure a person. Somebody from Netflix has said, well, I've got a weird idea. What if we help you manage not only
Meghan Markle's vision for her post-royal career was never small. She imagined herself rising beyond the limits of the British monarchy, not confined by centuries of tradition, but instead thriving in the fast-moving, glittering world of Hollywood. She believed that America would embrace her as one of its own, that she could build an empire worthy of her royal title and celebrity name. For Meghan, Hollywood wasn't just an option, it was her destiny. And in her mind, no figure symbolized that destiny more than Kris Jenner, the mastermind behind the Kardashian dynasty. Meghan thought Kris would be her ultimate ally, the one who could help her cement a position among the world's most powerful women. Meghan had watched Kris transform her daughters into billion-dollar brands, building empires from scandals and headlines. If Kris could do that for Kim Kardashian, Meghan believed she could do the same, or even more, for a duchess who had once been part of the most famous family in the world. But ambition and reality often collide, and for Meghan, that collision was brutal. What she thought would be her Hollywood breakthrough turned into one of the most humiliating public moments of her career. The day Meghan decided to make her move was supposed to be a turning point. Arriving in a sleek black SUV with tinted windows, Meghan dressed with precision, choosing an outfit that reflected both sophistication and Hollywood chic. She expected the gates of Kris Jenner's Calabasas estate to swing open effortlessly. After all, she was Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, wife to Prince Harry. Her name carried weight, and she believed it would guarantee entry. But when her SUV approached the towering gates of Kris's mansion, the response wasn't the warm welcome she had envisioned. Security personnel, trained to protect Kris and her empire with military-like discipline, didn't budge. They checked their lists, looked at Meghan's vehicle, and delivered the coldest response Meghan could imagine. No clearance, no entry. Meghan tried to salvage the situation by attempting to contact Kris directly. She reportedly dialed her phone, expecting Kris to pick up with a laugh or at least a quick explanation. But the phone never rang back. Kris stayed silent. The stillness was deafening, a clear sign that this wasn't an accident. It wasn't miscommunication. This was a message. Kris Jenner, the gatekeeper of one of the most powerful entertainment dynasties, had decided that Meghan Markle didn't make the cut. What happened next turned a private embarrassment into a global spectacle. Just as Meghan's SUV sat idling outside the closed gates, paparazzi cameras snapped into action. Conveniently stationed at the perfect angle, photographers captured every detail. The black SUV halted in front of the mansion, the tension at the gate, the awkward pause. Within hours, the images were splashed across tabloids and gossip websites worldwide. Headlines screamed about Meghan being shut out by Kris Jenner. Social media platforms exploded with memes, jokes, and speculation. To the outside world, Meghan hadn't just been denied entry. She had been publicly rejected, her desperation laid bare for millions to see. The timing of the paparazzi presence seemed too perfect to be a coincidence. Insiders whispered that someone close to Kris's camp may have tipped off the press, ensuring Meghan's humiliation became not just local gossip, but international news. Whether orchestrated or not, the effect was devastating. The woman who once believed she had escaped royal scrutiny to craft her own narrative was suddenly at the center of another media storm. Only this time, she wasn't the author of the story. She was the punchline. The backlash in Hollywood was swift and merciless. Public relations experts dissected Meghan's failed attempt, calling it a reckless move that revealed her lack of understanding of Hollywood's unspoken rules. In Britain, she had been able to leverage her royal title, but in California, titles meant nothing. What mattered was power, relevance, and mutual benefit. Meghan's attempt to insert herself into Kris Jenner's circle was seen as presumptuous. Kris, known for her meticulous control and careful curation of relationships, wasn't about to let someone with Meghan's baggage disrupt her empire. The Kardashians thrive on drama, but only the kind they can spin into profits. Meghan brought headlines, yes, but not the kind that Kris could monetize. Instead of seeing Meghan as an opportunity, Kris likely saw her as a risk, unpredictable, controversial, and a potential drain on resources. By refusing to acknowledge Meghan, Kris made a brutal yet calculated decision. She didn't need to insult Meghan with words. The closed gate, the unanswered calls, and the silent dismissal were more powerful than any public statement. In Hollywood, silence often screams louder than anything else, and Meghan learned that lesson the hard way. In the days and weeks that followed, the story of Meghan's rejection spread further. What was supposed to be her big break into Hollywood's inner circle became a cautionary tale. Commentators pointed out that Meghan had overestimated her influence, assuming her royal status automatically guaranteed her a seat at the top. But Hollywood isn't built on titles or past glories. It's built on leverage, relevance, and cold business calculations. Kris Jenner had spent decades perfecting this system, and her refusal to engage with Meghan showed just how carefully she protected her empire. For Meghan, the incident became more than just a personal humiliation. It was a symbolic moment, one that revealed the harsh reality of Hollywood's hierarchy. She wasn't an insider, no matter how much she wanted to be. She wasn't untouchable, no matter how famous her name had been. The locked gates weren't just physical barriers, they were metaphors for the closed doors of Hollywood power. And for Meghan Markle, standing on the outside looking in, the message couldn't have been clearer. In the world she desperately wanted to conquer, she was still just a guest, and sometimes not even a welcome one.